They said love and loyalty could survive anything, but what happens when the person who once swore to protect you becomes the one trying to destroy you? Wendy Osefo never imagined she'd be standing against her own husband in a courtroom, fighting not for fame, but for her name. When Edward's alleged scheme to trap Wendy in a massive fraud case came to light, everything changed. The whispers turned into headlines, the trust turned into silence, and the silence into war. Now, Wendy is striking back, filing a $10 million lawsuit that could expose far more than anyone ever expected. But behind the legal papers and public statements lies something darker, a truth that might ruin more than reputations. Because according to one insider, Edward wasn't working alone. And if that's true, the real betrayal hasn't even been revealed yet. It all began quietly, too quietly for what was coming. Wendy Osefo had always been the calm center of chaos, the one who kept her image spotless while others drowned in scandal. But when whispers started circulating about a fraud scheme connected to her name, people didn't know what to believe. The shock wasn't just that her name appeared in those court documents. It was who put it there. Edward? She reportedly said in disbelief when her lawyer showed her the evidence. That's impossible. He's my husband. But the proof was right there. Bank transfers, coded emails, and a document linking her signature to a deal she never approved. Insiders say the tension in their household had been building for months. Edward had grown distant, always on the phone, stepping out at odd hours. He kept saying it was business. Wendy confided to a close friend, but business doesn't lie to you. By the time she confronted him, the damage was already done. One night, in a heated argument, Wendy allegedly shouted, "You set me up to save yourself." The argument, neighbors said, could be heard down the block. Then came the leaks, screenshots of private messages, mysterious voice notes shared on gossip blogs. One message, supposedly from Edward to an associate, read, "If Wendy takes the fall, I walk free. That's how it has to be." Fans were stunned. Social media exploded. "This is beyond betrayal," one follower wrote. "He's ruining her life." Another said, "I always knew something about Edward didn't sit right." Behind the scenes, Wendy's team moved fast. Her attorney gathered every receipt, every call record, and every financial document Edward had tried to bury. What they found was explosive, a web of offshore accounts and falsified contracts that pointed directly to Edward's side of the business. But it wasn't just about the money. It was about trust. Wendy had built her entire reputation on being transparent, authentic, real. And now, her own husband had allegedly tried to destroy that image from the inside. She cried through the entire meeting, an insider said. Not because of the lawsuit, but because she couldn't understand why. Why the man she built everything with would turn on her like this. The betrayal cut deeper when Edward tried to spin the story. In a live interview, he hinted that Wendy knew more than she was letting on. "We made decisions together," he said, smirking at the camera. "She wasn't as innocent as she looks." That moment changed everything. The internet erupted again, half the world defending Wendy, the other half wondering if Edward's words hid a dangerous truth. Meanwhile, Wendy stayed silent until last week, when she walked into court and filed a $10 million lawsuit. According to her legal team, the case isn't just about defamation. It's about reclaiming her name, her dignity, and the truth. He thought he could break her, one of her friends said. Instead, he woke up a storm. But as the lawsuit hit the headlines, a darker rumor began to spread. Edward might have powerful allies, people who helped orchestrate the fraud, people still in the shadows. And if Wendy pushes too hard, she might be exposing more than just her husband. Because in this story, the truth isn't just dangerous. It's deadly. When the lawsuit went public, it didn't just shake Edward. It sent shockwaves through the entire social circle. Overnight, everyone who had once smiled in their photos started picking sides. Bloggers called it the Osefo War. Fans flooded comment sections. "He trapped her for money," one wrote. "No way, she's covering up something bigger," another replied. The internet was on fire. But then the leaks started again. This time, not from tabloids, from Edward himself. Screenshots began circulating on Reddit and X, Late-night messages between Wendy and a mysterious investor. One message read, "We can't let him find out what we moved last week." Another said, "Keep the documents hidden until I say so." Edward's attorney claimed these messages proved Wendy's guilt. But something about them didn't feel right. The timestamps were off. The tone, unlike Wendy's polished precision, felt staged. Her fans were quick to point it out. "He's faking evidence," someone posted. "Those texts are AI-generated." Still, the damage was spreading fast. News outlets replayed Edward's interview clip where he said, "All I ever wanted was transparency," painting him as the wounded husband. And while he smiled for the cameras behind closed doors, he was plotting something darker. A source close to the family leaked a call recording, allegedly between Edward and his business partner. In it, Edward's voice could be heard saying, "If she keeps digging, she'll find out about the accounts. I can't let that happen. She has to look guilty first." The clip went viral within hours. The betrayal wasn't just financial anymore, it was psychological warfare. Wendy had gone from victim to villain in half the world's eyes, and Edward was feeding the flames. Wendy's silence only deepened the mystery. For weeks, she said nothing, no interviews, no posts. But insiders revealed she was quietly gathering her own arsenal. Her legal team had reportedly uncovered deleted files from Edward's laptop, ones that linked him to shell corporations and forged contracts. One of those files, according to the leaks, contained a fake digital signature, hers. When confronted in deposition, Edward denied everything. "Those are my documents," he said coolly. "If they were, wouldn't I be in jail?" But the smirk on his face told a different story. Even the court reporter noted his confidence, the kind of confidence that only comes when someone thinks they've outsmarted everyone else. Then came the moment that flipped the case upside down. A whistleblower, someone inside Edward's company, came forward anonymously. They claimed Edward had paid an IT specialist $75,000 to modify incriminating files. He said he'd ruin Wendy before she ruined him, the whistleblower said. That statement changed everything. Suddenly, Wendy wasn't just a celebrity fighting her husband. She was a woman fighting a system built to silence her. The court ordered Edward to surrender his devices. Within days, forensic analysts found something shocking, a deleted message thread between Edward and an unknown contact saved only under the name C. The messages read, "C. She's getting too close. Edward, I'll handle it. By the time she figures it out, it'll be too late." And then, silence. The last message was sent 3 days before the lawsuit. When that leak hit the internet, fans exploded. Who is C? Is this bigger than Edward? Was Wendy's fraud setup part of a larger scheme? Theories spread faster than facts. Some claimed C was a lawyer. Others said it stood for client. But Wendy's insiders hinted it might be someone far more dangerous. Edward's demeanor began to crack. Paparazzi caught him leaving his office, looking pale, hands shaking. Reporters shouted, "Edward, who is C?" He said nothing. And then, late one night, a new leak surfaced, a voicemail. A woman's voice, calm but cold, said, "If this goes to trial, we both go down. You know what to do." The internet froze. Theories went wild. Who was the voice? Was Edward being blackmailed? Was Wendy unknowingly caught in a deeper conspiracy? Wendy's team immediately filed to have the voicemail authenticated. The hearing was scheduled for the following week. But as the date approached, something happened that no one expected. Edward didn't show up in court. His lawyer claimed he was unwell. The judge issued a stern warning. Mr. Osefo's presence is mandatory at the next hearing. And with that, the entire room fell silent. Wendy's eyes locked on the empty chair across from her. Because now, everyone wanted to know, what was Edward hiding so badly that he couldn't face her in court? And more importantly, what would happen when he finally did? The courtroom was colder that morning. Cameras lined the halls, fans whispered through masks, and tension hung thick enough to cut. Wendy Osefo walked in silently, no entourage, no press statement, just her and the quiet weight of everything she'd endured. Her eyes didn't flinch toward Edward's side because his chair was still empty. Again, the judge's voice echoed. "Mr. Osefo, you were ordered to appear. Your absence will have consequences." And just when everyone thought he wouldn't show, the door creaked open. Edward walked in late, disheveled, eyes dark from sleepless nights. He tried to smile, but it wasn't confidence anymore, it was fear hiding behind arrogance. The silence broke only when Wendy stood. Her lawyer slid a small flash drive across the table. "Your Honor," he said, "this contains the real recordings. The ones Edward deleted before he filed this lawsuit." Edward's head jerked up. "That's a lie," he barked. But his voice trembled. The judge nodded for the technician to play the audio. And then, the room heard it. Edward's own voice saying, "I told her to keep quiet about the offshore account. If she talks, I'm done." A murmur rippled through the courtroom. Wendy didn't move. Her expression was calm, heartbreak mixed with quiet vengeance. The second clip was worse. Edward's voice again, this time whispering into the phone. "I'll make her look guilty before she can prove anything. She won't see it coming." The courtroom gasped. Reporters scribbled. Edward's lawyer's face went pale. For a moment, even Edward seemed frozen, trapped by his own words. Then Wendy finally spoke, her voice low but unshakable. "You tried to destroy me, Edward. You wanted me to carry your lies. But you forgot one thing. Truth doesn't stay buried forever." He stared at her, something breaking behind his eyes. For the first time, there was no smirk, no control, just regret. "You don't understand," he muttered. "It wasn't just me. They were." "Who?" Wendy asked sharply. "Who were they, Edward?" He hesitated. The judge leaned forward. The entire courtroom waited. But Edward closed his eyes and said nothing. Moments later, his lawyer requested a recess. The judge denied it. The verdict would continue. Then came the twist no one saw coming. Wendy's lawyer revealed a sealed document, a private account transfer of $2.4 million made 2 days before Edward filed the lawsuit. The account belonged to someone listed only by initials. CM. Gasps filled the room again. Wendy's lawyer asked, "Mr. Osefo, is CM the person you spoke to in that voicemail?" Edward's silence said more than words ever could. Wendy's eyes filled, not with pity, but with finality. She turned away as the judge ordered Edward into immediate financial investigation. He had lost the lawsuit. He had lost control. But as reporters shouted questions outside, one line from the hearing haunted everyone who heard it. Wendy's final words to Edward before leaving the stand. "You tried to make me the villain, but now everyone knows who the real liar is. And still you're protecting someone. Why?" Edward never answered. Days later, a new leak surfaced, a short, encrypted email traced back to Edward's company server. It read, "It's done. She found the files. Prepare the next move." No signature. No context. Just one chilling realization spreading across social media. If Edward wasn't acting alone, then someone else was still out there, watching, waiting. And in the silence that followed, Wendy's voice from an old interview replayed across timelines, soft, almost prophetic. "When you expose the truth, you don't just make enemies, you wake monsters you never knew existed." That clip went viral again. Fans flooded the comments with theories, fear, and rage. Some called it justice. Others warned it wasn't over. Because as the judge finalized the ruling, one detail slipped past most headlines. The initials CM weren't random. They belonged to someone Wendy had once called a friend. And as the credits of this chapter faded, the real story, the one behind those initials, was just beginning. Edward thought he could bury the truth with a $10 million lawsuit, but instead, he buried himself. Wendy's calm defiance, that flash drive, and those leaked recordings didn't just expose his lies, they rewrote everything we thought we knew about their story. But here's what's keeping everyone awake tonight. If Edward wasn't acting alone, who is CM? And what did he mean when he said, "Prepare the next move"? Something darker is clearly still in play, and if Wendy was targeted once, could she be in danger again? This might feel like the end of a courtroom war, but trust me, the real game is only beginning. If you want to hear what investigators just discovered about that mysterious account, drop a comment below and subscribe because the next leak might expose everyone. This isn't justice yet. It's just the calm before the next explosion.